name is Kristen Kozad, and I'm a life and purpose coach. And this is my partner, Shelly Shell.
Hi, thank you for joining us. Today, Kristen and I are going to talk about abundance.
And how have we not talked about abundance?
I mean, we are abundantly purposeful, but we have not specifically talked about abundance.
It's just so obvious that we missed it. Yes. So now we decided to circle back and talk about abundance. It's a beautiful word. I love this word. I love the idea of exploring it and starting to really focus more into that than focusing on, shortcomings or scarcity. I think that is the exact opposite of it. And I think that scarcity looks like there's not enough to go around. There's not enough for everyone. The dreams that I have won't be fulfilled because there's just not enough. And it's that fear factor that comes in. And the opposite side of that is abundance and freedom and expansiveness and creativity. And that's really what we're hardwired for in life.
And abundance is, sometimes I think about the word and I'm like, oh, it's out there everywhere though. Like people say it and they're like, oh, you've got to be abundant. You've got to think abundantly. You've got to put that out there. And I believe that, right? But there's a point where you have to think about that for yourself. Like, what does that word mean for you and your life, right? Like, what does abundance mean to me? Does it mean that I am abundantly healthy? I'm abundantly full of, connections, good core connections with people in my life. It can mean so many things. But again, it's the connection to the word and making that connection and what's important to you in your life. And of course, being abundantly purposeful goes hand in hand. It's not just about being abundant in finances and money, which is also great, but it's different for all of us.
And I think that's we've spent some time today talking about judgment and authenticity in previous videos that we've done. But with abundance, it is really part of our authenticity to what areas do we want? Where is it most meaningful for us to be abundant? And it's a really fun thing to start to look at. And it really is freeing, and it will open up your eyes when you start to realize the areas, and it really does look differently for everyone. So what are the areas for you that abundance, you would really love to see it show up?
And what's interesting too, I like where we put our energy, right, is where we seem to see things growing. It's like it's springtime. And when we plant a garden or when we water the new buds in the ground, they become more abundant with growth and life, right? Mm-hmm. So it's where we put energy. And so you really do have to step back around that word and say, where do I want to put where do I want to be abundant in my life? And when it comes to finances, I know a lot of times, like in the judgment segment, we talk about like we have so much judgment around ourselves and our past experiences with money and maybe not doing things the right way, or, oh, I spend too much, I don't save enough. Well, let's just, again, when you're looking at the word abundance and you want to move forward, you think about the abundance that money can bring you as you give to others, as you share your experiences and your knowledge with others, but also as your money can grow for you as you make good choices, right? But you have to think about it. You have to take this step back around that word specifically when it comes to money. And what does it really mean? And then how do you help that grow? How do you water it? And how do you nourish it so that it becomes something that's meaningful and that actually makes a difference in your life?
And Shelly, just like you said, the thinking about it is what we're focusing on. And there's a quote, where focus goes, energy flows. So you really do want that energy around abundance, whatever area of life that is for you, or areas of life. There are probably multiples. But what are you focusing on? Are you, I have had personal growth has been a huge thing for me. And I can tell you that when you sort of get into that world, you can get fixated on what needs to be fixed. And that's where your focus is. So you're constantly maybe looking at what's wrong. And I've learned, especially in the past 2 years, to quit looking at what's wrong and to start focusing on all the goodness. And that's where gratitude comes in. Gratitude and abundance go hand in hand. So really looking at the things that we're really grateful for, or the things that we just want more of in our lives, whether that's connection or financial wellness or health, any area of life, to really start being grateful for what's already put in place in order to build on that.
And I have to say, listening to you, Kristen, and your comments just now, I think there's a reason we haven't posted about abundance before, because so many of the topics that we have shared with you in our conversations have led us to a point where you can go back and watch those other videos and say, I don't have to judge myself. Like when you're thinking about that word abundance, there's so many of the topics that we have talked about that will help you break through, maybe in some of those areas that are stopping you from truly looking at areas of your life in an abundant, positive, energetic way, as Kristen mentioned. So I think it's quite honestly a great timing, as we laughed about it in the beginning, that we have never talked about abundance, but honestly it's the right time, and this is the right time for you to think about abundance. This is the right time for you to take action around your areas in your life that you want to have more abundance. And we're here to support you, and we're excited to be a part of that. But honestly, it's about action. And we can think about things like this. We can think about that word. We can think about what it means. But until we start taking those steps, right? Until we start watering that feeling, that emotion, just like we do with our plants in the springtime, nothing's going to happen. So take the action. We're all doing it together. And it's just little steps that we take that make big changes.
And really sort of considering what feels good in your life, what area is really working and feeling good, and building up that gratitude and building up that joy that really tends to snowball in our lives and lead to more abundance in areas where we couldn't even have even planned it, maybe, but connections that come across our path, or when we are in a position of really doing the things that bring us joy and satisfaction and meaning, and really sort of having a little bit of freedom and paying attention to those areas of life where you feel really lit up, where you feel like you are showing up in your best.
Think of something in your life around money and abundance. Is there a place that that fulfills you, that makes you feel good, that gives you gratitude around money? It could be giving money away. It could be you're proud of the way you've saved some of the money for your future. Just take a moment and think about your money and the gratitude you have around the income you make, or whatever it is. There's got to be a way that makes you feel good about your money. Just take some time and think about that, and be grateful and proud of yourself for whatever that is, and try to build on that when it comes to money. Having abundance around money is a positive and great feeling, and it can do so much for you, for the people in your life, and for the community when you have a true connection around your money and abundance and how it makes you feel.
And create a space would be my suggestion for you today, my tip for you. Create space, whether it's getting out in nature, whether it's a place in your backyard or a space in your house where you can really sort of open up to what that looks like. We know that a lot of people are coming from a place of scarcity and fear, and even to slowly explore what it would look like to be more abundant, and pick one area of life. Pick one area. Don't overhaul the entire thing if you're not comfortable with that, but create a space that makes you feel joy and happiness, and where you can actually connect with abundance, because it's going to come from those emotions. And check the fear at the door. Just let it be, and get with yourself and get really quiet and start to think what abundance would look like for you and the area of your life that you would like to walk into more abundance. So thank you so much for joining us today, folks. It's been really fun to be here in person and to see you all and be a part of your lives. So we really appreciate those of you that are watching, and feel free to leave a comment, hit the like button. And of course, we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel.